In this video, we are going to see RSA algorithm to encrypt and decrypt data, which is experiment number 11 in Computer Networks Laboratory of VTU syllabus. Yes, already I have posted video in the theory, that is Computer Networks and Security, module 4. What is RSA algorithm and how it works. Now I am going to explain the program of RSA algorithm, how to program it, how it executes. Yes, RSA is nothing but it's a public key cryptography algorithm which helps us to encrypt and decrypt the data. What is RSA? How it is named is RSA are the scientist name, that is reversed Shamir and Adleman. Shamir and Adleman. So with these three scientists' name, it was named as RSA in 1977. It's one of the most widely used public key algorithms, as I said, and it is a security based on the difficulty of factorizing number. Why it is commonly used is since it provides more security, we are going to use this. We are using actually this algorithm more. What is the advantage of this is, since it involves two large numbers, factorization is difficult. That's why we are saying that RSA algorithm is giving more security. So what are the three operations involved in this is, one is key generation, and the second one is encryption, and the third one is decryption. What is public key cryptography? As I said in the previous video of RSA algorithm theory, yes, in public key cryptography there are two keys, one is private key and the other one is public key. Private key is nothing but it can be used by that user only. If two users are there who wants to communicate with each other, so one user, that is user A, will be having two keys, private key and the public key. If the user A encrypts the data with the private key of user A and sends it to user B, then user B should decrypt it with the public key of A only. Similarly, if user B sends the data by encrypting the data with the private key of B, then it should be decrypted with the public key of B by user A. Another possibility is there. What is that? See, user A also can encrypt the data with the public key of B and it can send it to B. And what the user B should do now, it has to decrypt the data with its own private key. So the private key is known only to the users and the public key will be known to the receivers. Okay, how we can get the public key is from the key servers. So this is how public key cryptography works. Now we'll see how to generate the private and the public keys for every user. So the first step is choose two large prime numbers, that is P and Q, and calculate n is equal to P into Q. This is the first step. So you have to take two integers, that is P and Q, and calculate the product of P and Q, that is n is equal to P into Q. The third step is calculate phi of n, which is equal to P minus 1 into Q minus 1. Next, choose the encryption key, that is you have to select the value called E. It should be less than phi of n such that E comma phi of n is equal to 1. GCD. What is GCD of E comma phi of 1? Greatest common divisor of the two numbers should be only 1. There should be only one common divisor, that also should be 1. That is the greatest common divisor between the two values of E and phi of n. So that value should be selected as E. Then the next step is we also should calculate or compute the value of D such that it is greater than 1 and less than phi of n. Okay, I have taken E such that GCD of E comma phi of n, and also I should select the value of D such that if I multiply D with E and do mod of phi of n, the remainder should be 1. That is said in this formula, that is E into D is equal to 1 mod phi of n, which is also called as Euclid's algorithm. Next, so once we have calculated both the value of E and D, we'll get the public key and the private key. E comma n is public key and D is the private key. So with this, what we can do, the next process, that is encryption. So what is the encryption? So encryption is nothing but applying the values, that is key, private key and the public key value on the message. See, this is the formula to convert the plain text to the ciphertext. C is nothing but ciphertext. C is equal to E is nothing but encryption. We have to apply encryption on the message with the our E value. So message m power E mod n is the formula to do the encryption. And how to do the decryption process? That is nothing but m is equal to C power D mod n. At the receiver side, we'll be having ciphertext. So C power D value also we have calculated. D mod n, if you do, you will be getting back the message back. Yes. So we'll see this with an example so that you will understand clearly. Yes. See, this is the message block. Assume the block size is equal to 6. See, this is the message, that is 0 1 1 1 0 1 1. We note that it spans 2 blocks. So the block size is 6. See, we have like more than 6. Here we said as block size is 6, but we have the data in which the size is more than 6, that is 8 is there. So we have to convert it into 2 blocks, which consist of first block consists of 0 0 1 1 1 0. The second block will be containing 1 1. Okay, there are 2 blocks with these bits. Okay, so we have to take one among this. So I am taking the first block, that is 00 111 10, whose decimal equivalent is 14. So for this 14, we have to consider this 14 as m now. With this m, I will be calculating. I have to now encrypt this m and send it through the transmission medium, and the receiver should decrypt the data, and they should get back the data. This is what you are going to do using our Java program. Okay, so see, so what I have done, as we said, we have to take 2 integers. I am taking 2 integers called P and Q, whose values are 3 and 11. Okay, so what is the product? What is the first step? As I said, n is equal to P into Q. So 3 into 11 is 33. So I am saying that n is equal to 33. What is the second step? The second step is the second step is to calculate phi of n is equal phi of n. What is phi of n? Phi of n is equal to P minus 1 into Q minus 1 as per the algorithm, RSA algorithm. Phi of n is equal to P minus 1 into Q minus 1. So what is P minus 1? It is 2. And what is Q minus 1? It is 10. So 2 into 10 is equal to 20. Next, let E is equal to 3. Now we have to select the value of E such that GCD of 3 E comma 20 is equal to 1. So I am selecting the value as 3. If you calculate the GCD, greatest common divisor of 20 and 3, you will be getting only 1. See, 1 comma 3 are the divisors of 3. And what are the divisors of 20? If you take 2, 1 and 5, 4, 20. These are the divisors of 20. So which is the common divisor here? Only 1 is the common divisor. And which is the greatest common divisor? The same. 1 will be the greatest common divisor. So we have to select the value of E such a way that GCD of E comma 20 is equal to 1. Okay, that is done. So E is defined. Next we have to calculate D. How to calculate D? So what is the formula? E into D is equal to 1 mod phi of n. So I have to select the D value such that I know already 3. I know already E value is 3. So I have to select the D value such that if I multiply 3 with D and divide the product of this value, I should get the remainder as 1. That is phi of n. If I divide it with the phi of n, I have to get the remainder as 1. So what is our phi of n? It is 20. So if I divide the product of these two values, so what should be the D value now, so that I will get the remainder as 1? So the D value, if I multiply E with 7, I will be getting the value called 21. If I divide 21 by 20, obviously I will get the remainder as 1. So I am selecting 7 as my D value. See here, the value of D is 7. This is how we have to calculate the value of D. Next, we said already in the previous slide that the message is 14. If I convert the block into the decimal, I'll get the value called 14. So how to encrypt the data? Encrypt is nothing, formula is C is equal to encryption of the key with the message. So what is the message? It is 14. So 14 power, what is the E value here? It is nothing but 3. E comma n is the public key and D is the private key, as I said. So 14 power 3 mod 33. What is 33? It is here n. So E power, that is 14 power 3 mod 33 is equal to 5. So this will be the ciphertext of the message, that is 14. Message is 14 and its respective ciphertext is 5, which will be sent through the transmission medium. So this is the sender and this is the receiver. Instead of 14, 5 will be sent through the transmission medium. Once it is received by the receiver, again the receiver will be doing the third operation, that is decryption. What is the formula for decryption? We said ciphertext power D mod n. So what is C here? It is 5. 5 power, what is D? D value we said 7. So 5 power 7 mod 33. So if you do this, you will get the same value, that is message value, which is 14. So this is decryption process, this is encryption process, and this is key generation process. These are the three operations involved in RSA algorithm to encrypt and decrypt the data. The same thing you should apply with the Java program, and you have to execute the program. So while giving the values, you have to give the value of the message either in binary or in decimal according to your Java program. So the output will be the ciphertext. Clear? So with this, I am ending this session. Thank you. Bye.